So we've got our game tomorrow night to kick off the ASC portion of the campaign. Tonight's the big one in Philadelphia, the Eagles in Dallas. I gave you the floor on breaking this one down. Kurt, what do you got for me? Preview it.
For tonight's game?
Yes, sir. Tonight's game.
Well, I mean, I think everybody goes into the season feeling like the Eagles are in a great position to repeat. They got all their main pieces back, youth on defense, the playmakers on offense. So I think you go into it, I'm excited just to see, are they coming off that Super Bowl? Are they going to look just as good as they did in the Super Bowl because they were so dominant? But I think they're going to be right in the mix again. And maybe more of the questions are on the other side is what exactly are we getting? What is this offense going to look like with their new coach? Can they run the football? Are they going to have to throw it all over the yard? No Micah Parsons. What are they on defense? I thought I read today Travion Diggs is on a pitch count. A lot of things going on in Dallas that I'm not really sure what to expect from them this year. I don't look at them being a contender this year. Maybe they show me something different tonight, but I think the Eagles are going to be right there in the mix.
Well, you're the perfect person to ask this. I mean, Jalen Hurts, humble guy, and a guy who, had doubts all the time coming into the league. I'm describing a little bit of your journey as well. How did you enter the season after winning the Super Bowl and being the Super Bowl MVP and answering those questions in an emphatic way? And now he's got that. Obviously, you didn't blow out the Titans, but you still won. Yeah. And so how did that work for you the following year that could be a somewhat informative as to what the Eagles are going to be experiencing?
I love when we were interviewing Patrick Mahomes, and we were just kind of asking
on
about
Monday. You're talking
about the situation in Kansas City, and he said, I don't really have to say a whole lot around our guys because what I've realized is if you want to be great, you want to be great, and we get guys that want to be great. And so when you talk about winning a Super Bowl, I think a lot of people have this perspective that once you do that, you've accomplished everything, and now you can rest on your laurels or you can kick back. The great want to be great. And so you win a Super Bowl, and then it's about winning another one. If you win another one, then it's about winning the third one. It's about figuring out how to be great each and every year out there or each and every situation. And I think Jalen Hurts exemplifies that. Whether you talk about Alabama when he goes and wins a national championship, and then he gets benched, then he goes to Oklahoma and he's in the mix for the Heisman, and then he comes to the Eagles and he goes to a Super Bowl but they lose, and then he comes back and he dominates in a Super Bowl. Could have been a 2-time Super Bowl MVP with the way that this is a guy that wants to be great, and that's what he focuses on, not what they already accomplished or what they did last year, but just being great. And so I expect nothing more than him to continue to work to become better at his craft and try to lead this team in the Eagles to, a place that we've seen, last couple decades with the Chiefs or with the Patriots is being dominant for a long time and being the ultimate winner. And he's shown that he can do that in a lot of ways.
Is it easier to do that because you've done it? Because you just did it? That whatever, I know we always talk pressure in our business, that it's removed. Obviously, the last time there was a banner raised in Philadelphia, it was asked of Nick Sirianni this week, you were being booed by halftime, and so things can change. Yeah. And his response, we're not going to be out there for either. Was there a banner raise? What banner raise?
Right, kind of crazy.
But
I get it. That's last year. That's not this year. We don't need to, we did our ring ceremony. We did our stuff. We got to put that in the past, and now it's something new.
But is it easier to be that leader at the quarterback position when you've answered questions and you do have a trophy in the case and an MVP trophy to boot?
I think, anytime you accomplish something like that, you always have that in your back pocket. But I don't think it makes it easier to do it again. I don't think it makes it easier for this team to be great just because they were great last year. I think the Chiefs would be the first ones to tell you, we've been to a lot of Super Bowls, but we've also lost a couple Super Bowls. We also got blown out in a Super Bowl because we realized it's not as easy as sometimes it looks. And the Eagles played really well, and then they dominate the Super Bowl, by halftime that thing's over. But that guarantees absolutely nothing for this year. And so I think you win one, you put pressure on yourself to win another one. You put pressure on your team to, we're going to come off the Super Bowl and we're going to go back and do it again. So I don't think it makes this season any easier. But I do believe you always have that in your back pocket. So if this season doesn't go well, it was like, I do have a Super Bowl ring. I'm a Super Bowl MVP. So that's always going to be there. But that doesn't make this year any easier and probably more difficult because you realize how much it takes to get there. And I would even say, like, when we won it in 99, I won't say it was easy. It's never easy to win a Super Bowl. But with that magical season, it just kind of came together. And you know, from a football standpoint, you could say, man, it seemed kind of easy. And then you realize when you come back the next year, okay, you know, that's not how it normally is. It's really hard to get there and win. And so you appreciate those moments, but you don't carry anything really from that season and think that it's going to carry over into the next.
Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.